Hello friends, this is Sandhya from Hong Kong Desi, and you have been interacting with us through WhatsApp, through website and various other channels, and I'm sure you are also enjoying our Hong Kong guide since last 4 years. We are interviewing a prominent Indians in Hong Kong and trying to bring out their achievements and their contribution to the Indian community in Hong Kong. So today my guest is Mr. Lal Hardasani, and he is an eminent personality in Indian community. He does not need any introduction. However, I would like to provide you some details. Mr. Lal Hardasani is an insurance professional, and he's an entrepreneur since last 50 years. And am I right? 50 years?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And he is actively involved in Indian community through various associations and through various activities. In terms of the Hindu temple, Mr. Lal is a part of the managing committee since 1979, and later he became a trustee, and he is also a chairperson of Indian Chamber of Commerce during 1995, right?
95 to
96, right. Let's now talk to Mr. Lal primarily about the Hindu temple and also about him and his contribution and his vision and much more. Mr. Lal, welcome to our channel, and thank you very much for your time, and thank you for agreeing to meet us.
Thank you, Sandhya, for inviting me and giving me this honor to be interviewed. I'm really happy. I want to start because I'm attached to Hindu temple for many years, and till today, every Sunday without fail, if I'm in town, I go to Hindu temple.
Nice. Great.
Yeah. Now I give you the brief history of our Hindu temple. The lease was granted to us by the British government, 30th April 1928.
Okay.
It is a long lease, and our this deed is for a long time, and our rent is only $1 per year.
Wonderful. That's
Yeah.
so nice. And I think we are going to complete 100 years soon.
Yes.
1928 means 2028 is approaching.
Yes.
Great. Celebrating the anniversary, 100th anniversary.
We have a big plans. One of them is to call some groups from India to sing bhajans. We will also distribute some special mithai from India. We'll have a very big community meal on that day. Also maybe a supplement in South China Morning Post giving the details of our 100 years in Hong Kong.
Wow.
For that,
That's really an achievement for Hindu temple, celebrating 100 years in Hong Kong. Yes.
no, temple was built in 1953,
1953.
but the land was given to us in 1928 for burial and cremation purpose.
I see.
We still have a lot of graves, about 50s, of the Indian soldiers, Sikh, Nepalis, Hindu, South Indian. Their graves are still there, which we are maintaining. And since last 3 years, we are celebrating a Remembrance Day for these soldiers.
Wow.
And all over the world, 11 November at 11 a.m. is celebrated as a Remembrance Day to honor those soldiers who sacrificed their life in World War I and II.
1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
But the temple was established in 1953, exactly on 13th September 1953, and the first president and founder of this temple, Mr. F.T. Milwani, passed away, but his children are still living, And we are very thankful to him. It is not only he built this temple, but he got a permission from government to have a crematorium especially for Hindus in Hong Kong. Initially, we had a crematorium in Cape Collinson, private burner and big hall. But about 5 or 6 years ago, they wanted to demolish this thing and create more area and more burner because the community is increasing. And a lot of Chinese and foreigners, they also cremate their body because there is a shortage of land and maybe it is expensive. Till today, one burner is reserved for the Hindu community of Hong Kong. The hall is used by other communities also, but the burner. For other community, there is so much that they have to wait for at least 2 weeks to get a permission to cremate.
How about in Hindus?
Hindus, next day.
Next day.
Yeah, yes. That is a big achievement, and I salute to our founder, F.T. Mehman.
For all his contribution and making so much of efforts to facilitate this temple and related activities. So after this temple is formed, how it has grown to this level today? Can you just give us a brief, and also some of the activities which you think is really prominent, and we can inform our community about them?
Yeah. Hindu temple is managed by the Hindu Association, which according to our record is 1949. But we have some newspaper cuttings and some other information. It was established much earlier. But during World War II, Mr. Dev, he was a doctor. He was killed in World War II, and all the record of Hindu Association were destroyed.
Nice.
Yeah, but we have some record from the archives of the Hong Kong University, which shows a lot of other information which are given to you.
Sure, thank you so much. I will share with the audience, and they will also have an opportunity to review and also revisit the history of our temple, and also the efforts made by our community members and the leaders, I would say. Thank you so much. You want to highlight some of the things which Hindu temple is, doing, and which is also making a great impact on the community. If you could highlight, that would be wonderful.
See, as I told you, Hindu temple is managed by the Hindu Association.
Okay.
We have a committee of 15 people to manage the temple. Out of 4 is president, vice president, secretary and treasurer. They are also trustees. And total we have 5 trustees. Then 1 trustee is selected by the managing committee.
I see.
Yeah. And
so you mean to say there are 4 permanent trustees and 1 is selected?
Nobody is permanent.
I see.
According to new constitution made in 22.
I see.
Every president, he can have only 2 tenure of 2 years.
I see. Okay.
So only 4 years. Previously there was no such provision. And our Mr. K. Seetal was also a good honorable worker. He was president for 45 years.
Wow.
So now we have made a new constitution. Every president can be only for 4 years. In between there should be some gap, and if he wants to be re-elected again, then he has to stand for the election.
Yes.
Another thing is that nobody can be on the committee or a president after age 18.
Yes.
We want to promote new generation to come and join the committee.
I see.
We have few good young people in our committee who are helping us a lot, and recently we have renovated, refurbished the whole temple at a cost of about 8 million Hong Kong dollar.
That's sizable.
I have a list of it. Want me to read out for you, or I give you the copy?
You can read out, and then I'll also show the copy to our the viewers.
Full upgrade of the main prayer hall and
I see.
Mons hall. Mons Hall, we have a hall at the mezzanine floor, which was built by Mons family in remembrance of their elder people. It was built. Temple was built in 1953, but Mons Hall was built in 1955.
So what is this hall used for?
We can use for many purposes. Suppose the upper hall is main hall is busy, then this hall we can give it to people who celebrate Durga Ashtami,
I see.
Ganesh Utsav. At one time we had a clinic also.
I see.
One South Indian lady doctor, whose name I don't remember, used to run the clinic. But now we are planning to have yoga classes, music classes, or some other activities.
Right. Spreading the Hindu culture among the community. Yeah, I know there are few people I come across and they want to learn this yoga or some other like a dance, traditional dance, and they have few opportunities, but some of them are not able to attend for various reasons. So this kind of activity will help them, and this is quite accessible to everyone.
Yeah, and the problem is Hong Kong. There's not many public halls or something at a reasonable cost or anything.
Yes. The waiting lists are more than 6 months. Yes.
But we will give it to any.
So, what is the capacity of this hall?
This hall is about 150 people.
Oh, good. Sizable.
And the main hall capacity is 250 people.
Wow.
But at that time, when it was built, it was good enough. But now we are feeling it is not enough.
Right.
But the problem is we cannot rebuild this temple because it is government has announced the Heritage 2 building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Neither we can expand, though we can get a permission. But being an old building, the structure engineer suggested not to touch the
Main structure.
I
see.
So what we have done, we are doing now. We are installing big cameras in main hall and a big screen in Mons Hall where 150 people can sit down and watch what is happening upstairs.
Upstairs in the main temple. Okay. Great.
And this Mons family, his son, daughter, daughter-in-law, grandchildren are still in Hong Kong. They are very happy to see their elder's name renovating this building.
Yeah. It's a big contribution.
And I remember their contribution was 15,000 Hong Kong dollar to build this at that time.
At that time, I'm sure it must be 50 million now. The main important point is like the thought of giving to the community was so important.
Yeah, there was internal, external painting of the entire building we did. Relaying the waterproofing at the roof. Because of old building, sometimes there used to be a leakage. A redecoration of the deities area. We got one very good contractor who did all these things. But the decoration marble was imported from Makrana, Rajasthan.
I see.
Newly carved. And then other decorative material was from a lady in New Delhi.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. If you come to our temple, you will see.
Sure. Definitely.
And then we also did a slope maintenance. Because temple is on the slope. And behind temple, there is a graves and a lot of slope which we have to maintain, which is also very expensive affair.
Yes, definitely.
We spend about 800,000 to maintain the slopes. Then we also repaired walls, ceiling and drainage, replacing the audio system and air conditioners. Audio system, we bought the best.
I see. Good. That is a good investment because we have this the bhajan, kirtan community, the what we call the events at that time. We definitely need. This will add a lot of value.
We spent 200,000
I see.
on this system. Then we also did replacing floor tiles at the courtyard, corridors, and main staircase. Then we also upgraded electrical fitting to install LED lights and upgrading the common facilities.
Yes.
The total cost is about $8 million. Our aim was also to build a lift,
Yes, that's really important.
because a lot of people who are connected with temples, they have become old, they cannot climb,
Correct.
and they felt that lift is necessary. This lift program has been going on since 1977.
Wow, that's almost like a 30 years.
Yes, we are trying to find a way, but it is not easy. But I never take no as an answer. It will take
Yes.
time, but I'm sure we can manage it. But in the meantime, we have ordered a chair lift from
chair.
UK,
Yes. That's very useful.
which I hope it must have arrived last week. Maybe we'll install by the end of this month. So that is something is better than nothing.
Yes. That's quite useful.
Yes, and this is a new technology. Before we also had about 20 years ago, chair lift. But in between we have a platform. So there were two chairs. You have to get down and take another chair.
Yes,
But the new one is all the way one.
all the way back.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be very beneficial to the community, especially the elderly folks.
Yeah.
So we cannot do anything with the heritage tag, and we have to live with this structure, correct? And it's still in a very good shape. It will serve the community for a very long time. Thank you.
And at least I believe that
Me too.
it will last up to 800.
Oh, yes.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Even in India, so many temples we have.
Yes.
They are few hundred years old temples, still they are in a good shape.
They are there. And the construction of this our Hindu temple here is also, it's not like a very much modern, it's like olden style. So this is meant to last long actually.
Last long. We have an in-house priest. He's a young guy. He's a BCom, but also his family, he's from priest family, and he's looking after the temple. We have given him accommodation. We have a special flat for him in the temple area, where he lives with his wife and 2 children.
I see. So you are really taking care of the temple and temple management, everything in a great way, so that it's comfortable for everyone, not only the community but also the one who manages and serving the community in the temple, right? Yes, that's the commendable. That's
Because
very
you see,
commendable.
when we renovated the temple, I made sure to renovate his apartment also.
I see.
It is fully air conditioned,
Wow.
nice kitchen, good bathroom.
That's a motivation for him.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, it's really appreciable to see how you are taking care of your own people. Now, my next question is along with we talked about the temple structure, little bit of a history, and if we missed something, you can add that, and also some of the activities and the renovation. Now, I want to say, other than that, is any way the temple or the committee is also supporting the Indian community in Hong Kong or outside Hong Kong?
The temple is located in a very prime location near racecourse in Happy Valley, but there's no MTR. There's only a tram and bus. So a lot of people find it difficult to come. So for those people who are coming from Kowloon, we have arranged a bus every Sunday to bring them to Happy Valley, and from Happy Valley back to Kowloon. Even on special occasions like Janmashtami, Dasara, everything, we also arrange special buses to bring devotees from Kowloon to Hong Kong, Happy Valley and back. We do have a community meal
I see.
every Sunday,
Oh, that's
where about 150 people come average every Sunday. Then we also have some food on Monday, because a lot of people come to put this milk on a Shivalingam.
Shivani. Yes.
So that is also, we give them something to eat there. And because we have limited resources,
Correct.
our income is only from box collection, or when people call priests to do prayer or something in their house. And then we have some activities in temple,
Yes.
like some wedding, engagement, wooden ceremony.
Okay, those are also you are supporting the.
Yeah, we are supporting that. But it is not that big income
Correct.
to do some charity, because we are also charitable organization, and we are tax exempted under section 88. Yeah. But we celebrate all our religious function.
Yes, even I attended. I think you have a list of about 12 festivals which you celebrate in the temple. Yes. So-
More than 12, but major 12,
Major 12. Yes.
starting with, I think in February, Mahashivratri.
Yes.
Mahashivratri, there were about 1,000 people came to the temple. Our floating population from morning till night was about 500 people. And then evening we had some bhajan program, Shiva Abhishek, followed by Langar Prasad. 501 people, this time we counted.
I was one of them. Yeah, it was, in fact, the queue was quite long
Yeah.
when I went at around 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And I see the management was quite good, and it's very well organized actually.
So then we also celebrated this Sri Ram Janambhoomi
Yes.
temple on 22nd January also. There are also about 400 to 500 people attended. They were singing, dancing in glory of Rama. Then after that we also celebrate Janmashtami. Then we also do Ravan Dahan.
Yes, I attended that. I think about 7-8 years ago. Yes, I brought my son, and it was wonderful event actually. And I had never seen the Ravan Dahan so closely. It
Yeah.
was so. It is happening every year, right?
Every year since many years.
Mm.
And on that day people bring their children also.
Yes.
Yeah. Please give them some story about this Ramadan.
Yes.
Diwali is also a big function. We invite Consul General to the Maha-Arti. Janmashtami, last Janmashtami, we celebrated in a very big way, and we brought a group from Vrindavan.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
So they are here to perform the bhajan, kirtan, and other activities. Dance, Krishna Leela. Yes. That's wonderful. I'm sure the Indian community or whoever have attended, they enjoyed this party.
Then there was a Sindhi New Year, Cheti Chand,
Yes.
in April. We celebrate that also in our temple. First it was celebrated 2 days before Cheti Chand in a holiday inn by the Sindhi Association of Hong Kong. Then same artists, they perform on Cheti Chand Day in our Hindu temple. Was also very well attended and very successful. And the artists were very well-known artists. They sang very well, and they were happy, and we were also happy. Then beside our Sindhi or Punjabi festivals, South Indian communities also are a follower of our temple.
Yes.
They have a Kartikeya Murti
In the
next to Shiva. They celebrate all their festivals. They come in a big way. Sometimes they make South Indian food in the temple. Sometimes they bring from the house. And they support us a lot. And our treasurer, Mr. Venkat Subramaniam
Mm-hmm.
is also South Indian. He's the treasurer of our Hindu association for I think nearly 20-25 years.
There's so many things are happening at temple. And it's quite exciting to know, and also I'm sure the community also enjoy listening to this thing, these activities, and also would like to participate in different ways. Of course, everyone knows the participation is easy during the festival. All you have to do is visit the temple and be part of the event. But if somebody wants to contribute, or what are the various ways they can come to the temple and contribute?
Yeah. One way is we have a Langar Prasad for 150 people. It is a 5 to 6 course meal.
I see.
Yeah. Dal, rice, sabzi, halwa, puri, sometime kheer, or sometime gulab jamun, jalebi.
Wow, I should go now.
They sponsor.
I see.
Yeah.
So, what is the sponsorship cost?
The sponsorship cost minimum is 5,000, and if you need some extra things, it's 6,500.
I see. Understood. So they just come and pay the money, and the temple make all the arrangement of buying the grocery, the distributing the prasadam, right? Okay.
We have two chefs. They come every Sunday morning
I see.
and they make the food there.
Huh.
So it's a fresh food served in the temple.
I see.
Yeah. And this is one way. And some people also give donation
Right.
for like we were renovating the temple. They contributed.
I see.
Till today, some people, I have a friend who was in Hong Kong before, now settled in Taiwan. Every month, he sent about 10 to 12,000 every month from Taiwan
Wow,
for the temple.
such a wonderful devotee.
Because when he came to Hong Kong, I think few months ago, on 22nd January, he saw this thing and he was so impressed. Before that also he has donated big amount of money. And but now he also sends regularly. There are some regular donors, some occasional donors, some are big donors, some are small donors. But donation is the donation. If somebody donate $100 or
So, friends, this is your opportunity to contribute to the society, to the Indian community. Please get in touch with the Hindu Temple and Mr. Lal so that you can be part of these activities in a way. If you can't be there, or at least you can, support the temple and support the community. So this is very the appreciable, and also the something we give back to the society. This is very important part, and I'm sure there is another way of contributing. Maybe someone can come and serve the temple.
Sure.
And what are the ways they can come?
some people come and they distribute the prasad.
I see.
Some people do volunteer job,
Yes. Okay.
making people sit down, take care.
I see.
Some people help in buying vegetables and provision.
Yes. It's the shopping part, right?
There are so many seva.
So many seva,
And
right?
recently I read somewhere the time seva is the biggest, that you devote your time
Correct. Because
in whatever way.
exactly, and that main part is that getting people to do the seva is very difficult, right? And nowadays, but someone still coming to the temple to do the seva, that is really commendable. You are from the temple and managing the temple for a very long time as a part of the committee. So what do you think is the best way the people can contribute? Or it can make a lot of difference to the temple and to the community, other than financial, this one, and also the seva. Any other thing you can think of?
At the moment I cannot think of anything, but I prefer if they can help us to bring more youngsters to our temple.
Yes.
That is
That's-
that is the seva I'm looking for.
Yes. This is really important, that how we can motivate our friends, and especially the younger friends. Again, help them to connect with the association, with the God and religious and spiritual activities. And in turn they can get some peace and also calmness and also some content in their life. Am I right? This is what? Okay.
You will be surprised.
Hmm.
We have a 19 Indian temples in Hong Kong.
19 Indian temple
Kong.
serving only 40,000 Indian people, right? So that's many.
The biggest
Hmm.
is a Hindu temple in Happy Valley,
Correct.
which is built on a government land. It is on the ground floor. Other 18 temples are in the apartments,
Yes,
and
yes,
mostly in Kowloon and Chimchachu area.
yes, yes. I understand. So this is actually the one proper temple
Yeah.
with the dedicated on the dedicated land and also serving dedicatedly to the entire community with the proper celebrations of all the festivals, proper involvement, and also helping the community with all their the major events in their lives, such as the wedding or the engagement or
Janyu ceremony.
Janyu ceremony,
Mundan.
Mundan, etc. So that's really wonderful.
You see, in our Hindu philosophy, we need priest and ritual from birth till death.
Yes, they say some 16 rituals are there in our Hindu philosophy from birth to death. So that's why we need a temple first, and then we need a priest, and of course the temple management, so that it facilitate the Hindu society to live cohesively, right?
And you see, this Hindu association is also authorized by the government.
Yes,
Sign the commission papers.
I see.
Yeah, and that authority we have it, Hindu association. And second thing, if any death occurred, if Kowloon side, then Kowloon priest, Kowloon temple priest will take care of it. If it is on Hong Kong side, Hong Kong priest will take care. And we don't charge even $1 for the death ceremony. Our priest sevas are there. If you want to give anything to the priest, you give them directly, but will not collect anything for this time.
That's wonderful, Seva. Now, tell me about the contribution in other associations. This is my important question: that how do you manage all these activities along with your business and still able to excel in every area? So, tell us your secret.
Nowadays, nobody has a time. Even I don't have time. But if you're interested in anything, you have to take out the time.
Yes.
I get up morning early around 5:30. I make my notes, and my passion is Sindhi language culture. So first Sindhi association was formed by Mr. Gulab Thadani as Sindhi Sabha. At that time also I was a founding member, but finally that Sabha closed down. Nutan Tulani and myself, we started this Sindhi association. We have about 300 members, 300 to 400 members.
Okay.
And our main activities are, we celebrate Sindhi New Year, Cheti Chand, in a big way in a 5-star hotel.
I see. Okay.
We invite artists from India, and we also make them stay in a 5-star hotel. Yeah.
So it's a community celebration.
Community celebration.
In a big way. Right. Great.
We show sometimes Sindhi movies.
Sindhi movies, I never heard of this part. Okay, this is very interesting.
Nowadays, Sindhi movies are being produced, of course not on a big scale, but smaller scale. We are showing them here. And also we help some artists who are in difficult position, if they are financially not well, or we have to support them for their medical expenses. So these type of activities we do it.
Interesting.
And I'm also connected with there's an Indian Institute of Sindhology in Adipur, Kutch.
Oh, this is very new to me. So what does that do?
This was established about 28 years ago by four like-minded Sindhis who are from education sector, professor. Their aim was to preserve, promote Sindhi language and culture.
I see.
Yeah. So they have the biggest library in India or abroad about Sindhi books, not only in Sindhi language but in various languages. And some books are as old as 100-year-old books. They have preserved
So they are primarily on the Sindhi culture.
Sindhi culture.
I see.
And
That is a big thing actually.
I'm a part of their trustee and a vice president for overseas.
Wow.
And once a year I go to attend that annual general meeting. And in other ways also I support them. The current president of this association is Mr. Syed Bijani. He is a walking, talking encyclopedia of Sindhis. Such a brilliant guy. He was an architect. He left his job, came to Adipur, joined Sindhology. No salary, nothing.
I met very prominent doctor, Sindhi doctor, Dr. Suresh Advani.
Oh yes, he is a cancer specialist.
Yes, he treated my father.
Oh, he is connected just to hospital.
Various hospital. But I interviewed him. He is doing wonderful job actually, wonderful things, and he is also serving the society.
Sahib Bijani and this Dr. Advani, they are friends
I see.
from the same area, Ghatkopar,
Yes.
going to same school. Till today they are friends.
Till today they are.
And I met this Dr. Advani first time on the 25th anniversary of Indian Institute of Sindhology in Adipur. And he was sitting next to me.
And wonderful. Well, this one. So there is a lot of contribution is happening from various
Sindhis.
Sindhis, right? Anything else you would like to tell our viewers or add anything more? So
Can I talk about Sindhi communities?
sure. Please.
See, after partition, a lot of Sindhis left United India, which is now part is Pakistan, and they scattered all over the world. Majority of them in India. In India, also various cities.
Yes.
We were promised by Congress leaders that okay, Mahatma Gandhi and Nehru said, you come to India, you'll be looked after. But when they came to India, nothing was done for them. They really suffered.
Yes.
But they did not lose their heart. They started to work very hard. Some student in this Ulhasnagar or this Kalyan was a army barracks. In a very bad shape, toilets were outside, and they tell them to go and stay there. The students leave early morning, 6 o'clock, and take something to sell in the train. 9 to 12 or 1 o'clock, they will attend a college, and then after 1 o'clock again they will take their stuff to sell it and cover their cost of fees and everything.
Such an entrepreneurial. Sindhi is a very entrepreneurial community, right? Like a Gujarati and Marwadi.
Yeah.
I've seen Sindhis are doing well in especially business areas.
Yeah.
And I come across many people, especially in the electronics area. They are leading actually, even though they say the factories in China, but many factories are owned by Sindhis, right? So they're doing quite well and very proud to say that they are
Never
successful.
find a Sindhi beggar.
Yes.
We never begged anything from anybody. Even we did not ask government to give us anything. We could have asked for a land to build our own,
Sure.
but we did not do that. We said, okay, we are Indians, we are part of India, but we will not treat it well. Till today, we don't have a Sindhi channel,
TV channel, right?
TV channel.
Right.
Whereas other communities,
Everyone.
even like they have Urdu channel,
Yes.
they have a Sanskrit channel. Why not Sindhi channel? We are fighting with the government through Ram Jethmalani. There's one Asha Chand who filed a suit against the government, but they did not do anything. Now Ram Jethmalani passed away, and his son Mahesh Jethmalani, he's following up. And Asha Chand is still pursuing this matter, and then she found a new idea that all over Sindhis we should collect letter in support of Doordarshan development. And she approached me, and I have also collected about 500 signatures.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you are involved in so many activities. This is a big thing, bringing people together. Right.
God is very kind to me. If I finish one project,
you have already another project.
Another product He sends to me. Last year, I feel, doing seva, it is not only people think maybe I'm doing for a name or anything, but it gives me inner satisfaction.
Yes. I think that is why you are meant for that, probably. That's why you are getting so many opportunities one after another to contribute for the community and also solve their problems and also, be a kind of inspirational figure so that the younger generation look at that how they can also give back to the society the way you are able to do it. Great, it's wonderful. Right.
So I'm very proud of our community, but now a lot of youngsters are getting married. There's no arranged marriage now, late love marriage. But still the rate of divorce is increasing. I'm worried about that. But I heard somewhere that the lowest rate of divorce is among Sardars, Sikh community.
Because they are rooted to the culture. And that happens only during the childhood. There are two things in their culture. One is that the joint family, if you see, or the teaching at home at early childhood. Right? And then second one is that they visit the temple.
Gurdwara
without fail. And if you can also have this kind of thing, okay, every Sunday they visit temple. The moment that happens in any community, then that what we call the sanskar shiksha takes place, and once they are rooted to the sanskar, then their character building, their thoughts, beliefs, all this thing happens, and they start thinking larger in the life rather than focusing the small problem or individual or this and that. So that is the one which can help to build a stronger relationship, stronger family bonds, and also the stronger society. I think this is something we can do about it.
You see, the problem is that we are divided into various organizations. Some believe Radha Swami, some believe Sai Baba, some believe Dada Vaswani. So they go there instead of coming to the temple, which is a part of Sanatana Dharma. So the community is divided. That is a.
So maybe we can take a lead and at least for one event they can come together, something like that. If we can for some kind of.
I think it's a good suggestion. We should try on our 100th anniversary.
Yes, please. And my suggestion on this, on the closing note is, as you have correctly mentioned and pointed out, the serious problem. This is a serious problem because the divorce ultimately leads to broken families and broken society, and ultimately that fragmentation creates a weaker society, and that has a very irreversible impact on the individual as well as on the family and the society. So I think we can undertake some programs like Shiksha Sanskar for the children who are around 5 to 10 or 12. and we can bring them in and see how we can inculcate some of the teachings, and that we can do it during the summer if you agree to that.
I think it's a good idea. But in Hong Kong, there are two organizations, Satya Sai Baba Center. They have a Bal Vikas program once a week. And my daughter-in-law is also one of the teacher. And also Chinmaya Mission
Yes.
also doing this kind of work. So I think in cooperation with these two organizations, we can also start something.
Sure. Even my son was part of Chinmaya Swami Mission. He attended 2 or 3 years.
I personally met Swami Chinmayanand in Hong Kong. After he passed away, I also visited his main ashram in Dharamsala, Siddhabari. I went there one night, I stayed there. He was a daredevil's saint.
Yes. He spoke with a lot of courage and conviction.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had faced a lot of difficulties in bringing
Good knowledge.
Yes.
He was a BA LLB. Once in
Those days.
those days, and one speech he said, I went to Uttarkashi to do some interview as a journalist, to that I will see what they are doing. And then he said, I was so impressed that I became myself.
Okay, great talking to you, Mr. Lal. I want to know what are the future vision for the Hindu temple at Happy Valley, and the second question is what you expect from the community. I'm sure we have spoken during this time, but on the closing note, if you could say to our viewers, so we can take this message forward and able to connect with the Indian community in Hong Kong and of course outside Hong Kong also.
My vision for our Hindu temple is I want this temple to grow.
Great.
Not its size, because we don't have a capacity to accommodate.
Sure.
But we want to grow in our activities and with the cooperation of our Hindu community in Hong Kong. And also, we would pursue vigorously for the left project. We want to manage this temple with the honesty. We have a very transparency
Good.
in our accounting, and we have 2 big financial controller.
Great.
They are working for very big companies who have also donated big amount of money. And I thought if they ask me, I told them I don't know you. We have 2 financial controller. You ask them, they are very happy.
Correct. The way it is managed, right?
Yes.
This is very important for the charitable.
Every year before annual general meeting, we see our annual accounts, all the members. We have 400 to 500 members. And if there's any question, you can ask annual general meeting.
Great. And your expectation from the Indian community?
My expectation is speak in your own language, the children.
Wonderful. This is a really wonderful suggestion, because when you speak in your own language, those feelings and the connection
There's
is
certain things you can express only in your own language.
correct. Mother tongue matters a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to learn mother tongue, you don't have to go to school.
Yes.
In case you want to learn reading and writing, then you have to go to school.
Okay.
Otherwise, to learn the language, how we learn? Our parents, grandparents, they were talking to each other, and we also started communicating, and we learn.
Yes.
I'm proud to be a Sindhi till today.
Yes.
I get a books, magazines from India. I read in the morning, and I can also write articles
In Sindhi.
in Sindhi.
Okay.
I have a Sindhi books of library in my house. Slowly, which I'm taking to Adipur, because after me, my children, they cannot read and write. Slowly, I'm donating those books to Indian Institute of Siddharaj.
Nice.
And my both children, they speak Sindhi.
That's wonderful.
But unfortunately, my 2 granddaughters, they don't speak Sindhi.
Okay. Now maybe you can start teaching them. Right. Great. Great. It's wonderful talking to you. And again, thank you very much for your time and your knowledge and the wisdom what you shared for the community. I really appreciate you for everything. And on behalf of Indian community, again, I thank you so much for all the contribution you made. I'm sure there is much more to add. However, with the time constraint, I'm going to stop here. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you. Thank you, Sandhya.
Thank you very much. And it's an honor to be with you. Thank you.
You are doing a good job
Thank you.
distributing this guide
Mm.
to the people of Hong Kong without any cost.
Thank you.